Hello, friends. Welcome to Wonderland. My name is Allison, the self-proclaimed priestess of Wonderland. And in today's video, I have a new moon pick a card reading for the new moon in Virgo that we're having September of 2024. So the themes of a Virgo new moon are literally getting your shit together and getting organized, kind of taking inventory of your life and adjusting and making changes, specifically to like daily routines, doing things regularly that support your highest good. So, a lot of the readings today kind of had guidance and affirmations for you to help you set your new moon intentions this month. The affirmations would be really great to carry with you throughout this entire moon cycle. So, I have typed those out for you if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Ko-fi supporter. I'm going to put those in your private Discord channels just so that you can have it all typed out for you. So be sure to check that out. So first of all, today we have 3 beautiful images here for you to choose from in pile number 1. And pile number 2. And pile number 3. So let's take a deep breath, get grounded and centered, call your energy back to you, because remember, Virgo is about perfecting the self. In Leo season, we learned to highlight the things that we love about ourselves, the things that we feel good about ourselves, the things that give us confidence and that we feel like those are the gifts that we're meant to share with the world. And Virgo energy is helping us to perfect those, to help kind of hone those skills to continue to be the best version of yourself. So I would like to thank you for being here with us today. I would like to thank you for taking time out for yourself. Grab a journal and get nice and comfy and cozy and listen to your readings. Let me know in the comments which group you selected. I would love to hear any feedback. I appreciate you so much. And if you would like a personal private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. Thank you so much, you guys. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, group 1. If you chose this beautiful image here, then this is your reading for the Virgo new moon for September of 2024. And for this group in particular, it feels kind of like this Virgo moon cycle is going to set you up for like a lot of transformation that's happening for you in Libra season as well. So we will enter the Libra season about halfway through the Virgo moon cycle. So for the first half, we'll be in Virgo season and then we'll transition to Libra. And I don't know, there was just like very much a Libra kind of energy for this reading. So our first card we have here is the Mystic, which is also known as the Hierophant, but it's the Mystic in this deck. Then we have the Four of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Four of Wands. So immediately what like jumped out at me, well, first I was really drawn to this Mystic card and why it's the Mystic in this deck and not the Hierophant. And I really love the message of this card. And it also kind of has some Libra energy to it because there's there's something about Libra energy that like can like kind of stand between two worlds, like because you know the symbol is the scales and we're figuring out how to like balance these energies. And so Libra energy very much knows how to be the mediator and like standing in the middle. And this card is depicted as a mermaid who, and there's also two full moons there. So I was also kind of feeling like maybe the eclipses that we're going to be having this moon cycle, we'll have a lunar Pisces eclipse. Maybe something about the full moon is going to be significant for you, whether that's eclipse energy or whether that's just like full moons in general. But so the meaning of having the two full moons here is that like there's two worlds. You're able to kind of stand between two worlds and see both of them. And the fact that this is a water nymph here is like asking you to kind of go deeper into the subconscious and, tap into that underwater kind of energy. I also kind of feel like that, like, you're able to stand between two worlds and like make sense of it. But I kind of get the feeling that you're able to do that. You're able to go to the like subconscious energy. You're able to pull information from the other side, but you might kind of get a little bit lost here. And I think that's why we have two fours, because that was the second thing I noticed is that we have the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. And fours is literally like the square. It gives us structure and foundation. The Four of Pentacles is like literally earth energy, stability and structure, and particularly finances and material wealth, and also kind of being too rigid. So I feel like for those of you that chose this group are either like getting lost in the deep dark depths or are restricting yourself from exploring and navigating, maybe because you tend to get lost and go down like a dark spiral, or because you have trouble coming back into reality. So there's this need for you to find structure and balance so that you can navigate these waters like safely and not get lost. And then the Four of Wands is the element of fire and celebration, and particularly the Four of Wands is kind of like having this container or space for celebration or ceremony, or ceremony might be. So a lot of times this is like a graduation or like a wedding or something that is like a milestone celebration, and that give us foundations to our life. So I feel like there is a need for this group to find some structure and balance and foundation from which to tap into the veil, especially as we're heading into fall season where the veil is getting thinner. But also to be able to, I feel like the thing that jumped out at me about this sun card is that like this is kind of like, despite like the yellow flowers, the sunflowers that are here, she doesn't look very happy, and I don't know if I can get it to focus well on her face. It almost looks like there's a tear in her eye that's like about to drop down. I don't know if that's just like my imagination or not, but I'm like, this is the saddest looking sun card that I think I've ever seen, or at least the person on the card is like the saddest looking that I've ever seen. And this was just telling me that like I think the things that like you used to enjoy, that you used to indulge in, that you used to celebrate are no longer the things that you're interested anymore. Whether that's like hobbies, activities, your job of people, like just you're in this transition and transformation that I think you're going to be going through for the rest of the year, that is moving you into like more of who you want to be and like more of your highest best self. And that's what Virgo energy can help us do. Virgo is literally the self perfecter. That's why they get a bad rap for being the perfectionist or being too anal or being too picky. because they are all about perfection. They want to be their highest best self, and they want to hone their skills, and they want to be good at them, but they also want other people to be, you want to, they're the helpers. They want to help other people be good at what they do as well. So there is a need for structure and stability in your life. You need a solid foundation from which to be productive, but from also to celebrate. So you need an anchor here in the material to access the divine. Anchor it and channel it. And our first oracle card here is Your Soul Knows. This card also kind of had Libra energy for me. I don't know if it's the wings or like the two pillars like balancing. I don't know. Your mind, body, and your soul, and what is meant for you will find you. So the first thing that jumped out at me about these cards is that this is number 33 and then this is number 22. So I don't know if those are significant numbers for you. But we also have the fours, the double fours here too. So definitely be on the lookout for like signs and symbols and synchronicities. So what this card was telling me is that I feel like it's kind of going along with this Four of Pentacles, is that this is reminding you that like you already know like the direction that you want to go, but I think you're like stuck in doing the same thing over and over again, and maybe falling back into old patterns, or just out of habit and ease, because we're so busy and we're so bombarded with so much stress in this world. It's just like it's easier to take the 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 same path, the path that is familiar. And I think there's also like a lot of portal messages here. I see like portals with the Four of Wands. I see a portal here. We see the portal. She's able to access the portal in the Hierophant card. This could kind of be considered a portal. Time walking kind of energy. um, so I'm feeling like there is a need for you to look out for the signs, symbols, and synchronicities, because that is leading you and that is guiding you to take steps out of your comfort zone to lead you to where you're supposed to go. And kind of nudge you off of that same familiar path that you've been doing over and over again. The wings are really jumping out at me. I don't know if you connect with angels or not, or maybe maybe you are a Libra and you just connect to air energy. I'm not really sure. So this card is telling me that there's a need to like get into your body. I feel like there's a lot of escapism happening here, which is, I think we are all very victim of that, especially with all of the stress that we have going on in our world. It's like there is this habit, I guess, for lack of a better word, of numbing out and just like, doing the same thing over and over again, like I said earlier. But like there is this kind of separating yourself from your body, maybe dissociating. And I think with these fours and needing that solid foundation, you're needing to like anchor into your body. So this card kind of recommends very Virgo like things. Virgo is very particular and good about like daily routines, the daily routines that kind of nurture us and support us and give us groundedness and stability. And then obviously the physical routines are going to get you into your physical body, remind your spirit to come back. So this card recommends things like yoga or meditation or all of the above, some sort of movement, but some sort of like mindful movement that's going to, I think, satisfy your air element of like wanting to connect and wanting to, yeah, I'm really getting the message that like yoga would be do good, or like qigong, like something that's meditative movement is going to be, because it's going to satisfy that air mindful soulfulness, but also get your body moving, like get you physically moving. the message with this card, what is meant for you will find you, that I was getting, is that like once you do these things, once you get into your body, once you have some sort of regular practice, regular spiritual practice, regular physical practice, and don't do this all at once, like making physical changes, making dietary changes, making spiritual changes in your life should be done like one step at a time. Don't say like, oh, I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes every day. I'm going to work out for an hour every day. I'm going to eat nothing but fruits and vegetables every day. Like that's too much pressure. Take small baby steps and say, 3 days out of this week, I'm going to try to do some sort of mindful movement. And then the next week you can move that up to 4, and then maybe the next month you can move that up to 5, or whatever. Just figuring out like what works for you. That's one of the things that we really focus on in the Just a Phase Moon Planner, which, by the way, the digital one is on sale right now because so it's only $11 for the digital one if you want to finish out the year with the moon. But that's one of the things that we focus on, is taking really big goals and breaking them down into smaller ones. And these are the kind of intentions that you want to be setting with a Virgo new moon. So I feel like once you have this like regular practice in place, once you find this foundation and this anchor and this stability, you're going to start to notice signs and synchronicities and symbols that are leading you somewhere. Because I get the sense that like maybe this group is kind of frustrated of like maybe trying to force things, like why am I not moving forward? I feel like those of you that chose this group like are very like spiritually connected, and maybe you're not where you want to be with that. Like maybe not where you want to be with channeling, or not where you want to be with connecting to your spirit guides, or not where you want to be. But it's because you need this anchor. It's because you need this foundation. We need to be able to pull information and ground it. So we need to be grounded to do that. But I'm seeing so many other elements here. I mean, other than the Four of Pentacles, I'm seeing like air. I'm seeing air and fire and water in all of these cards, and we're not seeing much earth. So there is this need. And that's what these earth moons are for. These earth moons are to help us connect to our earth energy and to find those foundations and those structures that support us. And now we have Wings of Light, become something new. Again, we have, look at, like, this is literally Wings of Light right here. And then we also have Sacred Purpose, Eternal Flame, Ancestral Legacy. What this card is telling me is that, like, I think there is, because we're talking about ancestry and family, I think that's telling me that, like, the foundation that you already have, the structure that you have in your life, your root, like our root chakra is developed at a very early age. And, you know, that kind of it literally sets the base for our entire life. So sometimes we have to like trim those roots and regrow them in a different way that support us better as we grow. And so you are meant, and maybe I should talk about this card once we talk about this card, but with the ancestral energy here, I think maybe one of the reasons that you're like falling back into old patterns and habits is because they are so deeply rooted in they are your familiar patterns. Familiar patterns being familial, as in family habits. We are all taught to recreate what our parents or what our grandparents have like led an example of, and that's not always a positive thing. So this is kind of like breaking cycles, restructuring your life away from what was represented to you as a child. I do want to read the affirmations for these two. Oh, but before I do that, this card was like becoming something new. Like this is literally like refreshing your foundation, refreshing your structure. And look at like how fast she's moving. Like once you do this, once you set these foundations, you're going to be moving in the direction that you've wanted to move in all along. And it's going to be easier and there's going to be more flow to it without resistance and obstacles. So I think instead of forcing, you're going to be able to like move with more flow. So the affirmation for this card is I open up to the light and inner power of my true eternal self. I am willing to change, to make new choices, and to move in new directions. And then the affirmation for this one is I honor the eternal flame within. I value my ancestral heritage and I perpetuate the sacred energy for those yet to come. So, group one, you are the cycle breakers. You will get through this and cycle ending. Some of us have come here to heal ancestral patterns. This isn't an easy task. It's one that requires dedication, grit, honesty, compassion, authenticity, and grace. The cycle breaker card is one of gentle encouragement and deep acknowledgement. If you're a cycle breaker, know that being open to healing and change is a revolutionary act. The path of breaking cycles repeated is always unique, and it's one that only the most courageous take on. Not everyone wants change because it's uncomfortable and it's hard to understand. The work of changing long-standing patterns is often misunderstood and unacknowledged. For the cycle breaker shines a light on what's broken, dysfunctional, harmful, or painful, and says there must be another way. This is a card of acknowledging your willingness to do the work. Deep healing like this cannot be done in isolation, and often there are things at play within your system that both slow down and speed up the process. Ancestral patterns predate our lifetime and can therefore require many layers of healing. Be open to and call in the support of your ancestors, future and past, who share a mutual interest in you freeing both you and them from unconsciously repeating the past. So the affirmations for this card are I call upon helpful, positive ancestors of future, present, and past. Free me from these unconscious patterns that are harming us all. Free us from these harmful patterns in a way that truly lasts. So if you are a Ko-fi member or a Twitch subscriber, I'm going to post the affirmations for each group in your private Discord channel. So if you are a supporter, make sure that you are in our Discord and find those private channels that only you guys have access to. And thank you so much for your support. So I also have a channeled message for this reading, and they say, Dear one, you chose this path before you came here. You knew it was going to be a difficult journey. There is no need to fall back into old habits. They don't serve you, and you know it. Every step in a different direction in the road less traveled. Every step in a different direction or the road less traveled direction is breaking off a chunk of the bonds. Oh, this was really confusing. Okay. So I was like, what I was being shown was like, I don't know, almost like a tunnel kind of that like gets really, really narrow with like rock formations on the side. So like you're not able to crawl through. And if you are able to like fit through, it's like very difficult because you have to like climb and squeeze and move your body in all different contorted ways. But what I was being shown is that like once you face like those narrower parts of your path, those more difficult parts of your path, that like those are moments of pause. I think like we try to just like push through it and try to squeeze through and like get through and just get by. But when you're meeting these obstacles, you're supposed to pause and like kind of chisel down the walls of the tunnel so that you're able to fit through with more ease and with more flow. So it was kind of hard to like write down. So every step in a different direction is breaking off a chunk of those bonds. Chisel away at it. The path may seem narrow or blocked, but it's just an illusion to entice you to turn around. Notice that what you feel notice what you feel, and when you can feel it. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Are we still in Mercury retrograde when I'm filming this? Oh my gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Okay. So notice what you feel and where you feel it in your body when you meet resistance. Do not ignore it. You have to like feel the feeling. So notice the feeling, honor the feeling, and then feel the feeling, and then decide how to dissolve it. And the methods for dissolving, like this was kind of showing me like alchemical processes, and I think that's why there was so many other elements like represented here. So like when you are meeting like an earth blockage, like rigidity in the Four of Pentacles, can you use fire to burn it away? Can you use water to wear it down? Can you use air to like blow it out of the way? So like there are these like different methods that like I think depending on what situation you have that will help you like dissolve these feelings and release these blockages. So then decide how to dissolve it, and then the road will become clear again. The hard part is making the decision to change. So the hard part is like making the decision. The hard part is like feeling the thing, and like that resistance that you're like, well, like for example, like when I'm meeting resistance, like when I'm like dissociating or trying to avoid a feeling, like avoiding it takes so much longer and is so much more difficult because you're constantly having to like skirt around everything and like not feel and to avoid and to like lie to yourself. But once you, or the message for you is that like if you just feel it, it's like so there the fear is that like if you allow yourself to feel it, that you're gonna like feel like that forever, and you're never gonna like get unstuck, and you're never gonna like be able to like you won't be able to handle it. Or the message for you with this is that like it's not going to take as long as you think it is. It's not going to be as difficult as it is once you make that decision. It's the decision that is the hard part. So once you decide to change or to feel or to let go and surrender, it's just going to like melt. Like it's just going to totally dissolve, and dissolving the resistance equals dissolving the obstacle is what I was being shown. Okay, so we want to thank our guides for this reading. Remember, if you are a supporter, a subscriber, or a Ko-fi supporter, that you will have your affirmations in our private Discord channel. I want to thank you for being a cycle breaker. I know it's a very hard journey to be on. And oh yeah, also this visualization is very much like, see how their arms are just like separating this path. They're like pushing all of those obstacles out of the way. Know that you have like the future ancestors and the past ancestors supporting you when you make these decisions. I think that's why it's going to be so easy once you make the decision to do it. It's just like these road blockages are just going to like move out of the way, and you're going to be able to make your way through that tunnel and along that path again. There was something very significant about time. I think like one of the fears is that if you allow yourself to feel this thing, is that like you're going to feel it forever and you're never going to like get yourself out of it. And that's not true. So Virgo new moon for you guys needs to be about setting intentions for getting into your body, doing some sort of daily routine, whether that can be something as easy as drinking a full glass of water the second you wake up in the morning. If that's easy enough for you, add a little bit of lemon to that water, and just that is like one thing that you can do every day that's going to like help your body function better, that's going to enable you to like break these cycles and also channel and connect to the divine. So making some sort of daily routine change in your life is going to be beneficial for you guys for this Virgo new moon, whether that's yoga, dietary changes, whatever, going for a walk after work every day, something that is getting your body moving. I also feel the need for you to acknowledge that you are a cycle breaker and congratulate yourself, celebrate the progress that you have made, because I know that like when we're feeling stuck, we oftentimes kind of don't see the progress that we've made. So acknowledge that, celebrate that. In the Just a Phase Moon Planner, we always have a space in our new moon reflection and intention section that highlights something that you're proud of, and that is certainly something that should go in that space if you have the planner. I am proud of being a cycle breaker. I'm proud of the progress that I've made, and I'm ready to take the next steps to move forward. So thank you so much, Group 1. If you would like a personal or private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. The website is going to change soon. I'm taking some time off and going to restructure everything. So get in there while you can before they change if you've got something on there that you really, really like, because I don't know, I might be changing everything. So changes. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful, happy new moon. Hello, Group 2. If you chose this beautiful image here, then this is your reading for the Virgo new moon for September of 2024. Before we get started, these readings had a lot of affirmations to go with them. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Ko-fi supporter, then I'm putting all of the affirmations that went along with each group in your private Discord channels. So if you're not already in our Discord, please join us. And if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Ko-fi member, you guys have a private channel just for you guys, so that those will be additional informations, because I felt like I was giving you a lot of affirmations with these readings, and it's nice to have them all written out for you. So those are there for you when you need them. So we will get to this message last. First, we have the reversed Ace of Wands. Temperance. The Ten of Wands. And the Two of Pentacles. So my first thoughts about these cards are, I really love seeing the Temperance card and the Two of Pentacles cards together. These are both very balanced kind of energies, and it's really beautiful to see together. There is just this like peace and calm that comes with the Temperance card, and there is this like satisfaction that you get from the Two of Pentacles of like maintaining the things that life is throwing at you. However, we have these wand cards that I feel like are very distracting. I was getting the message of like distractions, like you're not able to find this peace and calm and balance because there's so much going on. Especially, the Ten of Wands is about carrying too much, doing too much, working too much, trying to do all the things by yourself. And look at her back is to us, and you're not even able to see this other wand over here, which I feel like I mean, just look how beautiful this. It's like light, it's glowing. There's all these beautiful, gorgeous poppies around, and it's just, this is a very enticing wand. Like, don't you just want to reach out and grab it and maybe like roll around in those poppy fields? Um, but you can't see it. You can't see it because you're too busy with your back to it, carrying all of these other things. So we are very distracted, group 2. One of the messages from these first oracle cards here that really jumped out at me is, so often in life we are taught to thrive on emptiness. And I feel like this is very much so 10 of Wands energy, even though, which one did it go with? Oh, explore the fullness is the first card, and that's the message from that card. Feel into emotions and the power of silence. So there is a need for this group to really like put down all of these wands, put down all of this work so that you're able to find peace, calm, and balance. I really feel like hardly half of these wands are necessary, but you continue to carry them because you just always have. And the explore fullness message with this 10 of Wands message is like, you feel like you're already full. You've got way too many things on your plate and you don't need any more. But these are not things that are fulfilling you. They're not sustaining you. It's 10 of Wands only leads to burnout. That's what happens. So there is this need to bring in some water energy to cool down that fire, to balance your cups, and so that you're not spreading yourself too thin. Everything is like manageable, sustainable. There is this like push and pull with the Temperance card of like, oh, I've got too much in this cup, let me put it in that cup, and then you're just kind of like pouring them back and forth. That's kind of what the image is usually depicted of. And there's just like, let's find this balance, let's keep this flow and rhythm. Whereas like if we encourage fire flow, that leads to burnout, right? I do feel like there's a lot of fire energy for this group. And with this feel into the emotions with this lion here, I was feeling like there's maybe something significant that happened for you during Leo season, or something that happened significant for you during the Lionsgate portal, because there's, with this lion and this butterfly, I was just feeling like there's this transfer. Oh, and the snake, I didn't even see that earlier. The snake and shedding the skin. There is this I feel like you're in the middle of a transformative process, but maybe you're like too busy and distracting yourself from like moving forward yet with this. And I think that's why we have this bridge here that's like, that is leading you forward, but you need to like shed some of this weight before you do that. So this group is being asked to take some time to be still and quiet. Dark moons allow us to hibernate and to go into the dark and to sit and be reflective for a while. And that's really important for those of you that chose this group with the feel into the emotions. Like, I feel like you're just so distracted with yourself that you don't even know how to feel. And there is this need to like tap into all of your senses, be silent, be present in the moment, and really like connect to yourself. I think once you kind of do that sort of like itemized restructuring of your brain, like getting calm and quiet, you're going to recognize that like you don't need half of this. And if we get rid of half of this, even if we get rid of one of these, this other thing has room to come in. So there's this need to like shed and release for this group to, and I think I just keep getting the message that there's like a lot of really unnecessary things that you are carrying, and they're just totally unnecessary. You don't want them, you don't need them, they're not here for you. And I feel like these are even just little insignificant things that like I don't think it's going to be difficult for you to release them. I don't think it's going to be difficult for you to let go. I think the only reason you're like holding on to it is because you always have. But it doesn't mean anything to you. I think it's just like you're carrying it, but maybe you don't even realize that you're carrying it all. We also, so this group needs to get silent, but you also need to take a break and have fun and get out in your community to talk to people, meet with people, support fun, unity, and play with our friendship card here. And we also have portal, infinite mind, awakening consciousness. I've been having trouble saying consciousness lately. So the affirmation for this card here is, I open myself up to the supportive connections around me. I join in the fun and joy that these loving friendships can bring. And this affirmation is, heavenly light opens my crown and brow chakras. I resonate with the eternal wisdom of my soul. I am divinely guided. So with this card, the message that I'm getting is that I do feel like something significant was like downloaded or integrated during Leo season or the Lionsgate portal. And now you're like, this is card number 1. Now you're like in it now. Like maybe you've taken time to integrate it. Maybe you need to take time to integrate it. And now you're like taking the first steps. I mean, we literally have the stepping stone card here. Stepping stone, take the next step, and simplicity and focus. Even the greatest journeys start with the first step. A step here, a leap there, and eventually a path appears. Nothing is ever wasted. Every experience you gain along the way forms who you are and the story of where you've been. The Stepping Stones card reminds us that we don't need to know every single step of the way. It reminds us that no matter how much we try to plan it, still there will be unexpected things to occur. If you spend your time trying to avoid these obstacles or missteps, if you strive for perfection before any motion, you will never leave the comfort of where you already are. Growth doesn't always feel comfortable. In fact, it's when we're uncomfortable that we'll likely know we're stretching and growing. And from a soul perspective, we all came here to grow. This card wants you to know that there are times for great planning and times to proceed ahead. This is the latter, a time of choosing the right next step over procrastination or forward movement over strategy. So put one foot in front of the other and trust that when the time comes to take another step, you'll know just what to do. So the soul inquiry is, what baby steps are you being called to take today in the direction of your dreams? So I kind of feel like almost this 10 of wands card can be representing, like, maybe you were like feeling motivated during Leo season. You got that download and you're like, okay, I'm going to do all of these things. And I'm going to do all these things to move forward. And Spirit is asking you to like put down that plan. Like you don't need it. Just take one step at a time, because once you take one step, the next one is going to be revealed. So group number 2, this is a channeled message for you. This group really needs to take time out. Taking time out will be beneficial for you. Take some time to laugh and play with friends, but also to be alone and quiet. Most of the messages of these cards are about getting still and quiet and listening to all of your senses. What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you smell? And really just being in the present moment. Oftentimes it's beneficial for us to like be around people to do that, because maybe that time is limited, so you're more likely to appreciate it. There is a need for you to like be in the present moment. So it is times when we take a step back that the next stepping stone will appear. Sit with yourself and do inventory on your life. When you get this big picture glimpse, you will see how many things are easy to let go of. I was really seeing that like most of these things are unnecessary that you're carrying and are going to be really easy for you to put down. Reorganize and prioritize your life, which is very perfect for like that's what Virgo likes to do. So tap into this Virgo energy and figure out how to like organize and prioritize your life. And I was being shown like visualizing like weeding, like literally just like picking things up, unwanted things, and just like uprooting them and letting them go, transmuting them, weeding and releasing. Then you will find your light and inspiration again, which we want to find our light and inspiration again. All of the other distractions are blocking the new things from coming in. Behind all of the unnecessary clutter, you will find this balanced version of you. You are going through an awakening and realization. Give yourself time and space to do it. And that's another big thing that was coming through of like I think that you know that you're like making this transition and this transformation, but like you're so loaded up with like your daily things that like you're not giving yourself time and space to really sit and reflect and transform and integrate and meditate. So like this is a very good thing to do on a Virgo moon, is to come up with some sort of daily practice, daily ritual practice that helps you stay connected and centered and moving forward. So it might be good for group 2 to like come up with like a daily meditation practice or some sort of daily ritual routine, pulling a card every day, journaling every day, finding something that works for you to help you like bring this energy to the forefront, something that's going to help you find peace and calm and balance and tranquility, but also just like this pride that comes with like handling and navigating the things that you are juggling. I don't know, I'm just getting a lot of pride with this Two of Pentacles, like yeah, I did that, instead of like feeling overburdened and weighed down, like feeling really proud about being like, okay, these two things I feel good about. These two things I know I can handle, I know I can maintain, I know I can sustain, and just feeling like really good about that. Having that confidence that's like, yeah, I can do this. This is manageable. We can always pick up more of the pieces later. But starting out with a lighter load is always going to be more beneficial. So, group 2. Once you disconnect, declutter, prioritize, the next stepping stone is going to appear. You're going to like, it's just going to make sense. I think we think that like we have to focus and we try to push these awakenings, we try to push these transformations. But really, when we take a break, when we take a step back, when we go hang out with our friends, when we go laugh, when we go do something that we really enjoy, you can come back to it with a fresh eyes that just make more sense, and you're going to be able to see more clear. You're going to be able to see that next step. Instead of trying to see all of the steps all at once, you're going to be able to see the one that is the next one for you and take one at a time as you go. So thank you so much, group 2. Don't forget, if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Ko-fi supporter, that the affirmations with this reading will be available in your private Discord channel. If you would like a private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. And thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a happy new Virgo moon. Hello, group 3. If you chose this beautiful card that usually makes me cry when I read the message, get out the tissues. But this message is straight and to the point. So like, don't worry. These are happy tears that we are crying. And it's weird. This reading is very much a feeling rather than a message. But let me talk about the cards and I'll explain. So the first one we have here is the Six of Swords, the Spirit of Swords, which is also the King of Swords. We have Strength, and we have Warrior of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So First of all, when I was shuffling, I was getting the song Let the Sunshine In. Wait. Oh my gosh, I just realized now that's the Age of Aquarius song. But I was hearing the words Let the Sunshine In. And then when I pulled the Six of Swords, I was just like, wow, the Six of Swords is like moving on from a difficult situation to something so much better, like overcoming obstacles, moving forward to calmer waters. It's usually like a person in a boat that's like kind of halfway in wavy, rocky waters, and then there's like a clear horizon on the other side. So it's like moving forward, progressing. So also, normally I don't like the energy of the King of Swords. I feel like he's kind of like arrogant and like a know-it-all, kind of bossy kind of energy. But this King of Swords feels really good for this reading. I feel like, I mean, how the King of Swords like should be viewed is like using n- your knowledge and your power for good, and like being in alignment. The negative aspect of this King of Swords is like using your wisdom for bad, like being overpowering and overbearing. Like there is none of that energy here. This King of Swords is like being a fair and just ruler. But I think in this group's case, this is more about you like being in divine alignment with like your authentic self. And we do have the strength card here, so you know that can kind of mean that like maybe you're like in the middle of these like difficult things, but like you are moving forward in a very like positive way. And that's even reinforced here with the Knight of Pentacles, which is like just taking one step at a time. It's like slow movement, but it's still progress, it's still movement forward. And for you guys, it's just so good. Like there's this overwhelming feeling of just like just being in alignment, being connected to your true self. So our first oracle cards here are Gift Yourself, Stop Pushing and Striving, and It's Time to Shine. I was so glad when this card came up because I was like, how the heck do we have a strength card with no big cat on it? Like we don't have a lion, we don't have a tiger, but now we have our tiger here. And I see this like, I mean, this reflection of like looking in the mirror and knowing who you are. Like looking in the mirror and like seeing your true self, but also like being your true self. And again, it's just this overwhelming feeling of like, yes, like you are here. This, you're in this. Okay, so one of the part of the channeled message was talking about Virgo energy. And so like you are embodying Virgo energy. You're divinely connected and perfect and perfecting the self. Like Virgo is a solitary creature because they spend so much time enthusiastically honing their craft and their skills and perfecting themselves like for the highest good. And that's just like the feeling of this reading of just like, yes, 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 being, and like, we want to treat ourselves. We want to like keep going. Like, don't hesitate. There is a little bit of hesitation here. I feel like maybe you like feel good some days and then sometimes you kind of hesitate a little bit. And the message I get with this card is like, I don't know if you can see like how there's like two paths here, and I like it's this feeling that like they're both leading the same way. Like no matter what, like we're always on the path. We're always like going in the direction that we're going in. But look at how the flowers are just like blooming all around this path. And it's just like that's the feeling that I'm getting of just like being your true self is like enhancing your situations. It's enhancing the people around you. It's making things blossom and And it's like creating this momentum of forward movement, forward positive movement, and it's like rippling and carrying out that positive energy to those around you and the situations around you. And it's time to shine. It's time to like keep this embodiment of your authentic self, because it's just like use this momentum, move forward, even if it's slow movement with the Knight of Pentacles. It's just there's just this overwhelming feeling of good. Good, like I'm getting like discernment, alignment, a little bit of hesitation, but it's mostly like just there. And you need to like celebrate that. You need to acknowledge that and just celebrate you. So we also have miracles, ancient wisdom, and another tiger, or wait, that's a leopard, another big cat, sacred activation, decisive focus. So these cards have like really wonderful affirmations with them. So if you are a Ko-fi supporter or a Twitch subscriber, I'm typing out the affirmations that go along with this reading. I think there's affirmations with this card too. Just so that you have them. They're like really nice, and affirmations are really wonderful to work with for new moon intentions. So just so that you like have those typed out for you, those are in the private Discord channels. So if you're not a member of Discord yet, please join us over there. Because I'm trying to just like have that be the place where I'm putting all of the like extra stuff that I want out there for you guys. This again is screaming alignment to me. Just how she has her hands like hovered over this like ball of energy here. This just feels so it's just adding to the feeling that I'm having a difficult time describing. I think Mercury retrograde ended, but like I'm still getting tongue-tied and twisted with like my words. But this reading just very much has this feeling of like this strength with all these animals, the knowledge and wisdom we've got, I think that's an owl there, and then we have the King of Swords. It's just this like, I can't describe it. It's just like this, yes, like keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. So the affirmation along with this card is, I receive and accept the wisdom and power of the ancient societies. Truly exciting miracles are appearing in my life. So I feel like this is just encouragement that would be good for setting, like carrying this affirmation with you throughout this moon cycle to keep reminding you in case you run into those procrastination moments, those times when you hesitate, so that you're reminded like, yes, I'm receiving and accepting the wisdom and the power, and I'm like putting it back out into the world. You're like channeling that information and putting it out and like staying in direct alignment with your authentic self. And the affirmation for this card is, I focus on the options before me. I choose to take a decisive action in the direction of my dreams. And I think that that message goes really beautifully again with this path card of just like, you can, no matter what decisions you make, you're still on the path, you're still moving forward, you're still going to be there. But like making the decision to like enhance your path, enhance the experience that you're having, and enhance the other people's experience that you're having, like blossoming and blooming and glowing are other messages that I'm feeling. And our beautiful, beautiful ancestral message card is here with a message of connection, belonging, and asking for help. And we're going to read this message here. I do have a very brief channeled message for this group, but like I said, it was mostly just this feeling and this embodiment of like alignment. How many times have I said alignment? Oh my God. I'm trying to turn to the ancestral messages, it's in alphabetical order. They're both A, and I turn to alignment right as I say alignment. Oh my God. And ancestral messages is the next one. So from the pictures etched on cave walls by our prehistoric ancestors to the engravings found amid the ruins of ancient temples, Stones hold a direct line to humanity's past. We can reach out and touch the messages left by the ancients, our hands tracing the inscriptions that their very hands created. Have you ever run your fingers over a carving in a cave? Have you pressed your forehead to an ancient stone, knowing that it's witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations? Have you passed buildings and stood when your grandparents were children? In Madagascar, in Africa, stones belong to the ancestors and are used to construct tombs and monuments. In New Caledonia in the South Pacific, it's believed that each stone has a name, a history, and a life resulting from the spirit enclosed within it. In the USA, Hawaiians believe that stones are inhabited by mana, the life force of ancient ancestors, and consequently must be protected and treated with great respect. And the Angu, a First Nations people of Australia, who are the traditional custodians of Uluru, teach that this iconic sandstone monolith holds the spirits of their ancestors. The ancestral message card is one of deep belonging and connection. It's an invitation to connect with the positive ancestors from your ancestry, known and unknown, to reach back in order to walk forward, to remember that you're in the dream of those who stood before you, and one day in the future, you'll be an ancestor to those yet to come. I think the reason this card tears me up so much, I do believe that this is one of the creator's ancestors here. I don't remember how I figured that out, but when I first pulled this card and it made me cry, the reason it like brings up such emotion for me is that thought of like, I mean, obviously connecting to your past ancestors is a great feeling of love and belonging, but just thinking about future generations really like moves me a lot, because it really kind of shifts your perspective from the present now, and I don't know, it just gives you a different kind of sense of hope that even if like the things that you're doing now are not being as recognized as they should be, and this group needs to recognize what they're doing and acknowledge it. But even if you feel like what you're doing is not being recognized, you never know, like way in the future, somebody might pick up something that you have created and be like, wow, this person was like way before their time. We have so many examples of that, like throughout history, of like artists not getting recognized for their work until after their death, and writers and poets and musicians even that just never got credit for it during their lifetime, but are now being recognized. And I love that thought that perhaps there is some sort of change that and some sort of contribution that you are making that will maybe not be recognized until later. And I'm sure that is the case for most of you, of course, those of you that chose this reading, but most of you that watch my channel and that hang out in our beautiful Twitch communities in Wonderland and Team Weird and everything. Like we are the people, and the age of Aquarius is about walking that path less traveled, walking the unpaved path, creating your own path, making your own way that's different from what is considered normal. And so I think a lot of us can relate to that. Like, by not doing everything the way everybody else does it and the way that you're quote unquote supposed to do it is being part of that evolution, being part of that change, being part of what generations from now will consider normal. So long story short, your channeled message says, are you proud of yourself? Because you better be. We are proud of you. Look at what you've overcome. Look at how you are acting with integrity and in alignment. Do not hesitate. Do not give up. How you are moving and making decisions in the world right now is right on track. Exactly how you're supposed to be doing it, in alignment. I cannot say in alignment enough. Treat yourself, even if you don't think that you can. Find some little thing to do to love and appreciate and respect yourself and thank yourself. You are embodying Virgo energy, divinely connected and perfecting the self. So I'm kind of curious if those of you that chose group 3 this time also chose group 3 last time, because you guys kind of got called out. And if you did choose group 3 last time, I mean, I think this is like all the confirmation that you need that like you've made big changes since then, and you should acknowledge that uh and celebrate it. Celebrate you because you are like whatever you're doing, and make this a regular daily thing. So Virgo new moons are about creating these self-help routines, these regular daily routines, whether that's an exercise, a meal plan, a journal practice, a meditation practice, whatever daily thing that you do to help support your mind, body, and spirit is what we want to be setting intentions around this new moon. So whatever you have found that is keeping you connected and in alignment, make it a regular practice. That is your intention. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working for you. So I just want to thank you guys so much for being you and for hanging out with us today in Wonderland. If you would like a private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. And they are, I'm going to be changing them soon. So get what you want now, because I think I'm going to be changing them. And remember, if you are a Ko-fi member or a Twitch subscriber, I'm going to post the affirmations and activations from the guidebooks for these two ones, just so that you have them there. Affirmations are really wonderful to work with on the new moon and to carry with you throughout the moon cycle. So thank you so much again, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy new moon.